Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It is still Sunday, April 15th, 2018. I am the Drunk Pokeroo, and it is beer time. It is a conundrum beer time. How is it a conundrum beer time? Well, let me tell you, before you and me, we have two brand new beers from former craft brew darlings, Mill Street Brewery, who a few years ago were bought by AB InBev. Many of my friends, and I'm going to put myself in that camp initially, and still to a large extent, no longer buy Mill Street products because of their ownership change, because they are owned by Big Beer. Some of my friends say to me, is it about the beer, is it about the ownership? Well, a lot of it's about the ownership for us because we give a damn about who makes our beer. We get to know our local brewer. We get to know them on a personal level. It means something to us. As a guy who talks about beer all the time, my concern now is, what's the beer like? Is it good beer? That's it. That's what I want to know. So, we'll talk about this one later. The White Space Wheat. What I want to talk about today, I even have my Mill Street glass that I got last year in the mix pack. I take a lot of flack when I talk about Mill Street beers from some of my more hardcore craft friends, and I get it, I understand it, and I'll take the criticism because, but I want to know. Like, when I see new beers come out, I want to know. I'm going to try that weird Bud Orange beer because I got to know. I got to know what's going on. So, up first, we're going to do the Hopped and Confused Session Ale. 4.7%, I think it's 30 IBUs or 20 IBUs. It's not much. They're saying it's like a juicy kind of session ale, so it's not overly bitter, and that is going to sell well. It's got a cool can, hopped and confused, dazed and confused. I'm a 45-year-old guy. I had a good job, a loving wife, family, friends, and I struggle over beer. So let's say this is the definition of first world problems. But I'm still going to do it, and I'm still going to talk about it, and I'm still going to catch flack over it, and I'm okay with that. I'll accept it. I give credit to my friends Robin and Jordan who kept telling me, what does the beer taste like? Talk about the beer. Okay, so I'm going to. And listen, if anybody, it's funny, there was some mention of me being in the pay of Big Beer. I wish. I wouldn't have to work 11 straight days, would I have, to pay for my beer? But what I am is a guy who wants to know. And if you don't buy a beer because of who owns it, I'm with you on that. I get it. I support it. I don't think there's a bigger supporter of Ontario craft beer out there than me, but I'm going to do it. So, hazy pour, nice fluffy white head. Definitely getting some orange juice and grapefruit juice notes off the top. Okay, here goes nothing, my friends. Listen. I'm not kidding you. It's struggling and it's bothering me, and it shouldn't, because it should just be about the quality of the beer. So that's what we're going to look at tonight. And I'm going to leave the ownership question for a whole other video. Cheers. Okay, let's talk about it. What does it taste like? What is going on in this beer, Hopped and Confused, from Mill Street Brewing in Toronto? So definitely tangerine, because you're getting a little bit of that more to it. Tangerine to me is a little more than the orange, but tangerine, orange, grapefruit, definitely some mango, passion fruit, a little bit of peach. It is not very bitter at all. It is instead, it is very sessionable. It will play well with a certain segment of beer drinkers. It addresses the citrusy, juicy segment of the population. You want to call them that? The juicy population. Are you juicy? Because maybe with that, there's a whole different video we can talk about. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's addressing that, and it's taking that bitterness that you're used to in, say, a session IPA or a session pale ale that will scare off some novice craft beer drinkers, and it's giving you that juiciness. It's thin, but it's a session ale, 4.7%. It's not a surprise. Yeah, it's inoffensive. It's not a bad beer. And that's, I guess, the argument and the discussion, the larger discussion that needs to take place. I get it. Everybody says support local. Well, let me ask you this. If you live near a Mill Street craft brew pub, and there's a few of them across the country, and the people who work in there live in your community and work in your community, it's a local brewery to you. That's where this comes from, the Ottawa Brew Pub. Are you supporting local? It's a philosophical question for 11:30 at night on a Sunday. I realize that, but that's the absolute truth of this. What is local? Who works there? People from somewhere else? No, it's the people from your community. So I don't know. I'm struggling with this, and it's a silly thing to struggle with, but I am. There you go, my friends. Check it out for yourself. See where Mill Street is. See if you like it. See if it's something that you can appreciate. Are they still making good beer, according to you? But with your conscience, will I buy it again? Probably not, but not because I'm like death to macro beer. I don't have to say that. I vote with my dollars, and my dollars go to my local Ontario craft brewers, and that's where they're going to keep going. Cheers, my friends. Sunday night. Sorry to complicate things, but that's how we roll here in the crease. Cheers. It's juicy, and there ain't no denying that.